Alright, here we are in another game of League of Legends. We have ourselves an unranked game. I don't know how good these guys are. I'm assuming not particularly because none of them have any ranking, so none of them have played ranked. And my friend's telling me to spectate an ARAM game. I'm not actually going to do that. So, on the top for the blue team, we have a Garen starting with a Doran's Shield, trying to go for that health regen pretty early and quick. A Lux in the middle, doesn't surprise me in the least, starting Doran's Ring, trying to bully people out, but with only 23 AP, it means she wasn't running any AP on her rune page, which is a little odd. Sejuani's going to be in the jungle for the blue team against the jungle Jax on the red team. They're both going to, or I'm sorry, Sejuani's starting at blue, while Jax is going to start at red by the looks of it. There, Nidalee is bottom with the Ezreal. This is going to be a crazy poke lane, and the Twitch Morgana on the red team is not going to have a fun time. Checking it out, Morgana actually built support, which is surprising. Twitch starting boots. Alright, everyone's starting pretty normal, all things considered. Karthus is in the middle for the red team. Just chilling in his lane as opposed to going over to Jax to defend his blue buff a little bit, but apparently not. I said he was going to start red. I completely forgot how the map works. I'm the best. And Renekton is top up against the Garen, like I mentioned earlier. The Renekton, I honestly think that Garen should win this, if only because he has a Doran's Ring or a Doran's Shield in his passive. So the health regen, if he just backs off every once in a while, should help him out in the long run. It's not like they're gonna run out of mana or anything, so. Alright. As we wait for the game to get going, let's check out everyone's builds. Jax, again, starting with the Hunter's Machete, which is the intelligent choice for the jungler in this day and age. It's pretty much the only good choice. Jax doing the same thing as the Sejuani, both of them doing the same thing. Oh, shut up, Ezreal. Oh, and I need to turn off Skype. Good. Anyhow, Sejuani starting at Wolves, clearing them out pretty quickly, all things. Actually, that was pretty slow. You should really clear out Wolves before blue buff spawns, but c'est la vie. If you can't do that, just start blue. It's not the end of the world. Garen coming in a little bit late to help this out a little bit, tanking a tiny bit of the damage, but Sejuani doesn't seem to mind over much, because Sejuani builds health anyhow. I think, honestly, that this bot lane is going to go very, very sour for Twitch Morgana. See, they're already way back. They're missing minions. The Nidalee is actually forcing them to miss minions. And even if the Morgana trades up on her, it doesn't matter because Nidalee has a heal, and a targeted heal, so Ezreal can use that too. So this is going to be really, really not fun for the Twitch Morgana. Although this Twitch does do a really good amount of damage this early in the game, so maybe he can make it work. We'll see. The jungler should really pay more attention to that lane. Meanwhile, in mid lane, the Lux is already pushed back to her tower, as Karthus, I believe, was just popping pimples on those minions. Pimples, of course, being lay waste. He got his wall level too, that's really weird. Oh, sorry, Nidalee got a kill on Twitch. I'm actually going to go back and look at that really quick because I'm curious as to how that happened this early in the game. Let's find out, right? So, Twitch gets hit by a spear. He's really overextended as it is. Ezreal shooting down some minions, misses a couple last hits, because that's really embarrassing. Gets hit by a spear and a Q by the Ezreal, and that was a free pickup because he just took a few too many skill shots. Doesn't surprise me, this early game at Twitch is going to be really, really squishy. Squishy, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Squishy! So you really shouldn't extend yourself that far out. You should wait for the jungler to gank if you have to, or look for another way to get minions. Garen pushed back to his tower by the Renekton. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, although the Garen is not asking why, but asking how. He's going to farm under the tower. He's not doing too good of a job right now. Karthus throwing up a wall after getting hit by Lux a few times. I believe she just hit him with every spell, so him down to half health. Threw up a wall to defend himself a little bit from any more engagements. Honestly, as Karthus, you should get your, Defile level 3, or level 2, so you can get the mana back passive on your Q. And then you'll be much better off in the lane. And then you just have to avoid getting hit by skill shots, like this Karthus obviously hasn't quite figured out how to do, as he is at no mana and very little health. Just leveling up though, getting enough mana to maybe keep himself in the lane. Though I don't think he's going to pay that much attention, as he is recalling now. Jax at 2 bars, and someone told him to defend the tower. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that against the Lux. He might actually die for this particular decision, but we shall see. Twitch trying to get a few more minions, level 2 against the other 2 players level 3. That's not particularly good, especially since Ezreal has much better poke capability and he's already down a life. And there you go, Lux has picked up the kill on Jax. I don't even have to go back to see that. I know what just happened. He got hit by a spell, and at 2 bars he's going to die to it. You should never ever go into lane like that against a character who has long distance pokes, especially when they can poke you under the tower. It's really just not a good idea. Garen pushing back against the Renekton a little bit. So far, no jungler presence in this game at all, which is a little bit worrisome, although they have both gone back, so maybe they'll actually come out and gank a little bit. Twitch getting a few pokes off on the Ezreal, avoiding the Q once or twice, and doing a little bit of damage because of that. The spear coming out, actually hitting Morgana, who's at 1 bar. She has to recall. She doesn't leave, she's going to die. She might die anyway. Spirit Stone going down for both Jax and Sejuani. That's kind of weird. Doesn't Jax usually get a Madrits? I don't know. It would speed up his jungle, and I think he really kind of needs that at this point. But we shall see. Garen silencing the Renekton as the Renekton stuns Garen. Nothing happens in particular, but the Renekton is at much lower HP, having to use a potion. Garen starting with no potions. You know, I'm honestly thinking the Renekton's still a little bit ahead. As far as farm is concerned, though, the Garen is at 15th, the Renekton's 25. The Renekton is kicking ass, taking games. Garen is bush hunting, as Garens tend to do. Never stand near a bush. If there's Garen in your lane, he will come spinning out of it, and he may in fact win that trade. Courage goes down, he silences a minion. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. He could have hit the Renekton. Renekton with no fury, going to do a little bit less damage. And once again, Twitch and Morgana back to their tower. Morgana, Tormented soiling the ground, although she is the support. I really would not suggest ever doing that. Getting the minions to low enough that Twitch can't last hit them under the tower, making him miss all those minions. I would be very annoyed were I this Twitch. Twitch hasn't gone back at all yet. He probably should think about it. Doesn't really have enough money to do any particular crazy buy, but I think he has enough to buy... Nope, he has 600 gold. He is very far behind, and that may in fact spell the end for the red team. We'll see though. Karthus getting caught by a few spells and is going to die for this. Pretty much no matter what. I'm sorry, Lux didn't chase, although I believe she has flash up. She does have flash up. She could have flashed and auto-attacked, and with red buff it would have picked up the kill on Karthus. Renekton killing the Garen under the tower. Tower diving, probably just getting spun upon, taking a few tower shots while doing it, and walking away scot-free. I'm actually going to scroll back and watch that kill because it may have shown something that is very important for a top laner to learn how to do. So let's find out. So, Renekton sees that he has minions here, slice and dices in, is about to take tower shots, flashes out of the range of the tower, and gets the kill with 1 auto attack. So that was sort of what I was looking for. If you're going to tower dive, make sure you have minions. Make sure you don't take tower aggro until you're well and truly able to burst down the target. It'll make sure that you won't take a huge amount of damage. Lux getting initiated upon by the Jax. Not taking a huge amount of damage though because the Jax started Spirit Stone instead of an AD boost like Wriggles or, I don't know, Brutalizer. Not that people do that in the jungle, but, you know, it's an option. Ezreal walking straight through the enemy team's tower, not taking the damage because he didn't target anyone, and the tower was targeting minions. Jax coming down to maybe catch this Ezreal out of position. The Morgana actually hits a snare, but it does not matter. Jax has no sight of this. Will he jump? Will he stun? Will he do anything with the tiny amount of mana he has left? No, he will not, as he's just going to walk after him with no buffs. He has no way to slow or stun. That is a free pickup for the Ezreal. The Ezreal actually dies to the Morgana, however. So that was not quite as free as I expected it to be. Lux going down to the Karthus ulti, who is right back here. Karthus may have wanted to do that a little bit earlier, pick up the Ezreal kill instead of the Morgana, who doesn't exactly need kills as she is the support. Whatever, no big deal. Let's see how that Karthus builds because of that free kill he just picked up. Getting a Tear the Goddess and probably going for a Catalyst is a pretty standard build now. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Garen getting a Ruby Crystal and boots, no potions to speak of, whereas Renekton went for the Brutalizer first, not a bad idea, but again, no potions. I would not suggest playing in a lane with no potions against a Garen who has a lot of sustain with his passive as well as the Doran's shield. Why do I keep thinking Blade? Because no one builds shield anymore, it's really weird. Not exactly a great item. Because of that Morgana kill, the Twitch does have a little bit more rain to farm up a tiny bit, although he's missing last hits and he started level 2 boots, so his damage is really very low, which makes it harder and harder for people like this guy to last hit. I wouldn't suggest doing this. I mean, if you're super great at last hitting, sure, try it, but you might need some extra AD early game, especially against an Ezreal who got a BF sword. That's not good for this Twitch. Twitch having to stealth away, gonna get hit by that spear, taking about half of his health. That's not fun for anyone involved. Lux getting pushed back to a tower by this Karthus, who basically has infinite mana the way he's built. Lux on the other side building a Chalice and a Doran's Ring, trying for the mana regen as well. Not a bad idea. Renekton taking this Brutalizer to the bank and harassing this Garen down as easily as he can. Brutalizer gives you a massive AD boost as well as like a lot of armor pen. It'll make you early game pretty much unstoppable. It's pretty great. So I would really suggest getting that for your first item up top lane. Renekton slice and dicing in, stunning him with Ruthless Predator. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ruthless Predator. And then walking away. Is that Ruthless Predator? Let's find out. Slice and dice. Yeah, Ruthless Predator. Okay, I was right. Twitch and Morgana once again getting pushed past their tower. Morgana has no ultimate, whereas both Nidalee and Ezreal have theirs. Nidalee actually is level 7. Morgana hitting the snare, doesn't really matter. Dark Binding, whatever the name of the spell happens to be. Spear going down, missing the Morgana completely, as the Twitch recalls. What is that Twitch going to buy? I do not know. A pickup on the Karthus. A gank comes around by the... Whoa. Oh, I'm sorry, Jax is ganking Ezreal, but he doesn't have any damage because he went Spirit Stone first, has no boots. He can't run away. This is a pickup on the Jax. This Jax is not paying for himself. Oh, Renekton once again dove the Garen. I'm going to actually go back once again to see that kill. Hold on. Let's find out if he did a cool thing. Probably not, let's be honest. Play. Garen at 4 bars, hanging around at the tower, trying to heal up as fast as he can with just his passive and his Doran's Blade. Shield. Damn it. With that many minions on the tower, he has to hide behind it. Renekton's going to slice and dice. Boom, boom. And that is free burst for the Renekton. So, I would suggest to avoid something like this happening to you, like up top lane, potions, a Crystalline Flask, not on Garen, obviously. He has no mana. There's no reason to get a Crystalline Flask on him. Just for the quick sustain. A ward on the outside, just to make sure no ganks come in. And if he's beating you this badly, get armor. Armor or health. Because right now, this Renekton has complete lane dominance. There's no reason to expect him to get ganked. There's really no danger for him. So, you need to do something, and building the way you have been isn't working, Garen. So let's see what he does to fix this problem. Double Rejuve B, going for pure health rejuvenation, even though this Renekton is doing about 5 bars of damage every time he initiates. That's not the way to do it. We'll see if it pays off in the end, though. I'm not entirely sure. Lux at slightly lower HP than the Karthus. The Karthus actually having quite a bit of HP for a Karthus, because he just got that Ruby Crystal. In fact, going for Catalyst. I was right. Haha. Whereas Ezreal and Nidalee are just chilling.